Dr. Mpho Palatse's ousting as Joburg Mayor has once again pushed coalition politics under the spotlight. How will the sudden shift of power likely impact communities and service delivery? Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi is in Eldorado Park, south of Johannesburg, and joins us live. Linda, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Now, we saw a change of power with regards to the Johannesburg Council, with now the ANC's Dada Morera coming in as the mayor. How are residents across Soweto and specifically in Eldorado Park reacting to this?
Well, before we came to Eldorado Park, we went to Pimville, where residents are, quite hopeful about, the incoming mayor, but also saying that the former mayor failed to really fully address their issues. I'm in Eldorado Park right now, and one can only assume that the, expectation is the same for residents here. The community here has been plagued not only by service delivery issues, but also social ills, which they feel that the government has failed over the years to address. So remember, not so long ago, there were community meetings that were held every other night to try and address the issue around the Eldorado Park police station, and where that also came from. At the backdrop of that, you'll also remember, the shooting and killing of Nathaniel Julius, which really saw residents come to the streets to protest against the service that they've been getting from the police. Right now, as I speak to you, there are tents that have been set up outside the police station, where residents are complaining about a number of things, and one of those seems to be, the gun violence that seems to be plaguing the community. It seems also the issue around the station commander has not yet been resolved. I'm joined now by the, community leader, Sharis Pretorius. Thank you so much for your time. You've traveled a long road with this community, from the protest that we saw in 2017 play out. But now, with this incoming mayor, it comes at a time when you are battling issues of gun violence and issues of just government's failure to address, all the social ills and service delivery issues.
Well, Linda, the biggest problem we have right now is that the former mayor, Mpho Palatse, had scheduled to come out and meet with the community of Eldorado Park on the 8th of October. So right now we have an issue. Because is the new mayor going to actually come out and say, okay, fine, Eldorado Park, we are aware of your problems, we are aware of the challenges that you are facing with regards to government, with regards to the station commander and SAPs and them not doing their work. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation that we find ourselves in, because we don't know what the next move is going to be. Yesterday we had members of the drug authority here with us, and the biggest issue that they had was the fact that as much as they can motivate for us to get the necessary services, the problem that we are faced with holistically is that is all that they can do. We took them to a couple of hotspots to show them exactly what the plight is of the people right now, and yes, they can motivate, but are the services actually going to come out to Eldorado Park? That is the question.
And talk to us about the current issues that you would have talked to with the mayor. What were you hoping to achieve with that meeting with the mayor?
Well, the challenges that we are faced with, number one, is that in 2013, there was supposed to be holistic services brought to Eldorado Park. So it needed to be integrated. We needed to have the Department of Education. We needed the Department of Social Development. We needed community safety. And none of those departments have actually come to the ground to address the issues. It's 9 years later, and we're marred by drugs. And we are marred now by deaths because of violence due to guns, and it's illegal guns that's infiltrating this community. So how do we address all of those things that has been rising to the surface over a period of 9 years? Everybody is promising us that they're going to come out, but they're doing it in silos. We need everyone to come out here and integrate the services as well as the solutions that they're going to be providing Eldorado Park, because everything is interlinked. The violence that we have at schools involves the Department of Education. We need SAPs to come on board as well to address that issue too. So how do we ensure that when they do come out, they bring a holistic solution to the community, but also how do they ensure that it is sustainable? Because we need something that has longevity, that has legs, that can get us to a point where we are no longer on life support. Because that is what this community is on. And right now, it would just appear that Eldorado Park is the stepchild of South Africa, and that goes for many other historically disadvantaged communities. So we are saying we will stay here until those holistic solutions are provided, until they ensure that we get the services that we as residents of this country deserve.
And just a last one quickly, we've run out of time. The new mayor, what are your expectations from him? Are you hoping to even develop a relationship? Are you going to go to him? Are you going to wait for him to come to you? What's going to happen?
The thing for us right now is he is a new president. He's a new kid on the block. They always say that the new broom sweeps clean. So we are hoping that he's realized exactly, or he's been informed by what is happening in the media, but also by the departments that report to him as to what is happening in Eldorado Park. So we are hoping that he's going to say, okay, fine, how can we address this and how can we fix it? But if he doesn't, we'll of course make him aware of what is happening here and ensure that he comes out and sees what is happening in Eldorado Park.
All right, Thank you so much for your time. The Sheriff Pretoria is here in Eldorado Park, Katlego, talking to us about, the expectations, as the new mayor comes on board, and of course some of the issues that they've dealt with over the past 9 years. It's seemingly issues that are long-standing, and there are also new issues that are rising. I mean, these tents that you see behind us are just an example of a community that is active and a community that's crying for help to government, and they're basically saying that over the years we have not gotten help, and they're hoping that this time around maybe things will change for the better.
All right, thank you for that update. That is Linda Mnisi out in Eldorado Park speaking to residents of the city and getting their reactions with regards to the change of mayor in the city of Johannesburg.